Hey, what's up, phone lovers? Welcome to the Mobile Roar podcast for the week of May 27th, 2015. I'm Joe Fidua.
I am Chris Chavez.
And I am Ashley King.
So, Chris, what are you making for us today? You're propped up in your kitchen.
The only thing I know how to make.
Podcast.
Cereal, Dino Nuggets, and Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets, definitely.
Yeah, and we know what happens when you make Dino Nuggets from last week, so I don't know if I'm going to be going over your house for dinner anytime soon.
And I realize, I don't cook anything really that, it's all, kindergarten food, like mac and cheese, corn dog. Like, yesterday I literally ate corn dogs with mac and cheese, and I was like, what am I doing with my life?
Living the dream. That's what you're doing.
I need to incorporate some greens or something.
I mean, if I didn't feel like I was going to die afterwards, that's all I would eat.
And a lot of caffeine.
All right, so this is a big week in the tech world because tomorrow, Thursday, May 28th, is Google I/O, and there's going to be a 2.5-hour keynote.
Cheese
Oh my god.
and rice. Do you have any idea how much stuff they're going to announce? I can't even.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. I think the event is 1 a.m. Eastern time, so we're going to be locked into that until almost 3 o'clock. No, past 3 o'clock, actually.
So frustrating. And let the Android M talk begin, where everyone's just flipping out about, when am I going to get Android M? When am I going to get Android M? Nobody has even enjoyed Lollipop yet to its fullest. It's just.
So what do you think the extent of Android M they will talk about?
I think they'll do what they did last year. Because in previous years, I think for it was ice cream sandwich and stuff. All they did was say, hey, our next version of Android's going to be called Ice Cream Sandwich. And that was it. They left it at that. They didn't talk about any features or anything like that. And then with Jelly Bean, they launched it the day of, which was Jelly Bean was kind of just a souped up ice cream sandwich. And then the year after that, Android M or Kit Kat. Did they talk about Kit Kat? I think they did talk about maybe a few Kit Kat features. So every year they're kind of revealing a little bit more and more and more. So I think they will talk about Android M features, but it'll be kind of light. I don't know if they'll go too crazy. I think they probably have a lot in store for all their apps and services and whatnot.
Yeah. And I don't think we'll hear the name.
You don't think we'll hear the name? Why?
No, not at all. They'll tease it as Android M. They'll save the actual name for when the Nexus launches at the end of the year. Yeah,
because it actually was really smart last year because they released that Android L developer preview, and then when it was actually an official thing, they gave it a name. So if you're searching for stuff and you search Android Lollipop, you're not going to get all the crap from the developer preview and all that.
All the bugs.
It actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it did. But even then, I totally almost forgot about that. They launched the L developer preview and they still couldn't get all these bugs worked out. What in the world is going on over there with Lollipop? It's just been a total mess since then. But I didn't even realize that. That means they're probably going to launch the M developer preview this week, next week, really soon.
I think was it available that day when they?
It was available that day on the devices that they were giving out. So I think they had a Nexus 5 or something they were giving out, or some tablet or something, and they had it running on there. But the developer preview came later for you to flash it and all that stuff, which is. That's probably not going to come till next week. So at least we have. I don't have to really worry about that, but that's going to be crazy. It's going to be coming so soon. I wonder what kind of changes it's going to have. Hopefully, just more material animations because they kind of slacked on that with Lollipop.
Yeah. So we published yesterday a post, 22 bold predictions for Google I/O, and I'm not going to go through all these, but if you're interested, go to Fandroid to read that. But some of these I thought were kind of funny, specifically the one that Quentin wrote. We gave a probability percentage for all these things to come true, and Quentin wrote one. Google finally follows their own guidelines for material design. Probability 0%.
Nope. Nope. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But on the more realistic end, it looks like the Play Store is going to get a section for kids. Probably 99% chance that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that should be cool.
Yeah, my little cousin. I mean, she's been bugging me for. I mean, I gave her like an HTC One M7 like a little while back, but it doesn't have any like cellular service. But now I'm like probably gonna give her a SIM card soon, and like I would like for her to have like a nice kid-friendly Play Store and all that. And hopefully they announce like with Android M and stuff just more parental features and stuff. I mean, I'd like how in iOS they have that, like they ping you, like if someone in your family can ping you and ask you if they can purchase something. So like that would be really cool to have in Android.
Yeah.
But just kid-friendly stuff. I guess they got to start focusing on that stuff because more and more kids are getting cell phones these days. They're putting away the pagers. They're getting cell phones.
Putting away the pagers. So other than that, in our list, there weren't a lot of things that we were super confident about. One of the things that I'm pretty sure we're going to see is like a fully operational Project R device. Because the development of that thing has just been like light speed.
Yeah, it has been, and it's due really, because they said I think they're gonna go to market like any day now. I mean, that was like last year. They said at the beginning of this year they would have like ready for purchase. So it's got to be ready. It's got to be done. It's got to be ready, and I think they are gonna have something there. All those little modules. I don't think we'll see too much in the way of modules. It'll probably just be like really weird stuff like stethoscopes and various zoom camera type deals, but should be exciting. I'm hoping that's what that whole 2.5 hour thing. They're going to talk a lot about Project Ara, but I guess we'll see. Exciting.
What's your top prediction? The Chris Chavez special.
I don't even know. I'm gonna have a migraine this week. Trying to.
That's your prediction. 100% probability.
My thing. What did I forgot what my predictions even were that I wrote up, but yeah, I don't even know.
It doesn't even have to be your specific prediction.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think really like nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. And
it is kind of up in the air.
It's funny because people, I don't know why, but every single year people forget that they don't actually announce like really like the new Nexus or anything like that. So people are like, oh, the Nexus is coming, and like, what? No, it's the end of the year. Like it's been every single year. So
now that you said that, though, it'll probably be like 3 Nexus devices tomorrow.
I mean, I think they might. No, probably no new tablet. I guess the rumor around the block right now is that they're not going to even have a new Nexus tablet this year, and that there's going to be 2 Nexus devices at the end of the year that they're going to announce. One by Huawei, one by LG, and one's going to be like a reasonable 5.2 inch. The other Huawei one's going to be like 5.7, closer to 6. So I guess we'll wait and see.
What do you want to see, Ashley? Or do you even care about Google I/O?
I don't know that I care. That's terrible of me to say, but
you know what? I don't even care.
Well, I mean, you've never been like a Nexus user, so you know there's probably not much in that you care about.
I mean, I bought the Nexus 7 when it came out, and I really enjoyed it as a low-cost tablet just to have like sit next to you on the coffee table or something. But
yeah,
I don't really see the need for a high-end Android tablet right now because there's not that many great apps that are tablet compatible. I mean, it's 2015, and I hate having to say that, but it's true.
That is so true. With the Nexus 9, I was like messing with it. I found it again. I think I mentioned this last week, but I found it in my closet finally. And I was like playing around with it, and it's like almost impossible to use because like Facebook is horrible on it.
Everything's
like,
so small; it's not optimized for the screen at all.
Tiny little text, and then huge like pictures and videos are all blown out and all blurry and horrible. It's a mess. It's a complete mess.
That was really the only reason why the Nexus 7 was so popular. Is like 1, it was cheap, and 2, it was small enough that apps that weren't for tablets didn't look that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they looked fine. The aspect ratio, everything was like it was perfect, and it was so low cost. I mean, the Nexus 7, I think they really did an awesome job. If they could just like update that thing, release another one, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But
it's funny, like we do those. We haven't done one in a while because tablets are kind of slow, but the tablet rankings that we do, and I always still like put Nexus 7 in my top 5, even though it hasn't been a new one in.
I mean, it's
years.
still it's sad to say, but it's still one of the best starter tablets to introduce somebody to an Android tablet with.
Yeah, no matter what. If I was gonna buy my kid something, trying to get them some kind of like device or tablet or any Android stuff, I would Nexus 7 easy, just without even thinking.
All right, we got a question here about I/O from Quadwo Bodu. Do you think there will be a lot of focus on Internet of Things stuff at I/O? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I was for a second there trying to figure out what they're going to fill up that 2.5 hour thing with, but our keynote. But I think they are going to talk a lot about that sort of stuff, like automated home stuff and
I mean, they
products.
got Nest now. And then Nest has Dropcam, so Google basically has Dropcam too.
Yeah, and like basically it's time to like let developers start doing some crazy stuff, and Google I/O is the time to announce that. So they're probably going to have all these weird APIs for home automation things and stuff like that. But I mean, we saw like the beginning of it when it was a couple of years back. It was like 2, 3 years ago with Android at Home stuff. It was very basic back then. It was just like smart light bulbs and stuff, which was even then they were like super expensive. But now you can go to, I mean, like Home Depot and stuff and buy them for like $15 a piece. And
Yeah.
the prices have really, really come down to where this stuff is. It's like it's more feasible than it was previously, like the previous years. So.
Do you
I
guys
think
have
we'll
any
see about it.
home automation stuff?
I don't. I think about it all the time that I would love to have it, but
Same here.
I did recently outfit. I mean, it's not really home automation, but I mean, I did an entire apartment. I put LED light bulbs, and it's been
Nice.
great. Yeah, our electricity bill actually went negative for like a month. It was really weird.
What?
I don't know how, but like, yeah, we got our bill, and it was like -$4, and I was like, all right, I guess
I don't think LED should make that big of a
the
difference.
LEDs are working.
I mean, you still have a refrigerator, don't you?
I mean, I don't know how the electric companies. I think there's like they have like peak months and stuff like this and peak times, and maybe we
Yeah.
didn't use as much at all during these peak times that they're like, oh, we'll give you a little credit. Here's like $20 or something. So I don't know, pretty awesome, but
Yeah, I'm the same as you. What you said, like I think about it all the time. I don't have anything, but ever since I moved into this house now,
yeah,
it's
when you
like
get your own place, it's like you start
I
thinking
gotta do
like
something cool. But the thing with me
customize
is,
it.
it's like, what system should I get started in? Because once you're in that, like whether it's
Yeah.
smart things or
Yeah,
like
you have to keep buying
turkey,
for that system.
right? It's like once you start into that path, you're stuck on that path,
Yep.
and it's not cheap stuff either. So
No, I was looking at some of the Philips light bulb kits that you can control from your smartphone. Those things are like $300 to start with.
oh
They're
yeah, the
crazy.
Philips stuff is super expensive.
I mean, even then, it's like it's hard to invest. I mean, I have a fear of commitment just in general, but when you do commit to something like that and you invest in that, it's like, what if the app just suddenly is broken? Like, can I trust this company to update their application to like work and play nice?
Oh
with
my
phone?
gosh, the Quirky, I forget what they. Oh, Wink. The Wink system has had like a lot of problems, and people have been complaining about that one a lot.
Oh man, yeah, I
And
would
yeah,
lose
like
it.
the app would just not work at times, and then it's like, okay, how do I turn on my lights?
I think what turned me off to the whole thing, or just made me a lot more cautious or leery about it, was just that when I bought that stupid Lockatron thing from Kickstarter, and it would like randomly, it was like those smart door locks. So you
Yeah.
put it over your door locks, and I had it when I was living in San Diego, but randomly in the middle of the night, it would just unlock itself, so you'd hear it like, and it would just like the thing would just open, and I would like get like the hairs on the back of my neck would like stand up, and I'm like, what the freak? So like I'd get up and I'd like go to like manually turn it back, and as I'm turning it back, it would like start like giving me tension going the other way, and I'm like, there's someone on the other side of this door, and I'm just like kind of groggy, and I'm losing my mind, and I'm like, it was terrible. So like yeah, I just next day ripped that thing right off there and just went back to good old-fashioned manual.
Chris, you just described the premise of the next horror movie. It's going to be somebody living in a fully automated home, and the serial killer. The serial killer like hacks your phone, and he can control where you can go and stuff.
Man. Don't even get me started, man.
That is another concern with home automation too. Is like someone
Hackers.
can hack it and control your entire house.
ISIS hacking into your house, and I don't really know. That is kind of scary. Not really, but I don't know.
So you didn't have the reaction in that video that I saw you post on Google Plus today?
Oh gosh, yeah. that was.
If you're not following Chris on Google Plus or Twitter, you should go check it out right now. What was that? Your roommate filmed you sleeping?
some comedy gold. Yeah. So I recently got a roommate, and it's one of my good friends for like a long time. He's just here temporarily, but I guess he caught me slipping. Bay caught me slipping. I was just taking, just a little shut eye, a little afternoon shut eye, and he creeped up from behind me and just like screamed, and it freaked the living daylights out of me.
Your reaction was just like you seeing, I don't even know, like the worst thing you could ever see.
Well, because it was him and his brother first of all, and like they were, I think like once they yelled, I was like, huh, what's that? And then I look up, and then I just see two people standing over me like, and I was like, like it took a while to process, and I was like, who the heck are these people? Like, oh yeah, those are my roommates. And
It's pretty good.
yeah, terrible.
All right, so we'll obviously have a lot more about Google I/O
Next week. Oh man.
So let's take a break from that while we can, and move on to Cortana. Cortana is coming to Android and iOS.
So awesome.
Yeah,
So
it is
flipping
pretty
great.
cool.
We talked
I
about
guess
it
it's
last week about how cool Microsoft is for like keeping like
They're
their
actually opening up all of their
Yeah.
apps to different platforms. Yeah.
cross-platform stuff. That's freaking wonderful.
Yeah, and there are some Windows Phone people who are not so happy about it because, I mean, they feel like this is taking one of the key features of Windows Phone that would maybe make someone want to use Windows Phone and putting it out there on other platforms. And I kind of understand it a little bit, but
Yeah.
Microsoft just wants people to use their services. You know?
Exactly. They're thinking of a new angle. I mean, obviously it's not the whole, hey, get it, a Windows Phone really isn't working too well, so now they're thinking of new ideas, and it's the same thing with like Google when people are all mad like, why are you releasing the best Android features on iOS? And it's like, well, Google, it's not always about Android with them. I mean, they know there's so many people using all these other phones. It'd be stupid to like ignore them and their platform just because, just whatever. It's like, yeah, it's smart. It's a smart move by Microsoft for sure.
And Windows Phone is just, I don't know, it's kind of sad when I think about it because I remember when I made the switch from WinSource to Fandroid, it was right about when Cortana and Windows Phone, what was it? I forget what they called it, 8.1 was coming out, and it seemed like everything was just like so bright and the future was looking really good. But like, when was the last new Windows Phone announced? Like actual flagship. I know last week we talked about a low-end phone, but like, when was the last big
I
deal
can't even
Windows
think
Phone
of one.
announced?
Like
Yeah, it's
the
been forever.
Lumia, the 1020. When was that? 2013.
There have been devices after that. Like that's a good point though. Like, if this was a thriving ecosystem, you'd think by now there would be a successor to the 1020,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not. There's just like nothing. It's
Yeah.
kind of sad.
This is cool though. I like it. I like this. I like having options on Android. I
Yeah.
like seeing all these different, apps. I mean, I don't care if it's Amazon and all their suite of apps and all that stuff, or Microsoft, but it's cool. It's nice to have choice, and I don't know. I wonder. I mean, because Microsoft and Google don't have like the best relationship. So like, I wonder if they're going to try to do something weird to kind of curb what Microsoft is doing. I think Microsoft would eventually have it to where they can just completely assimilate Android users with all their apps and stuff. So, and using Cortana as like your personal assistant, I think is like the first step to that. It's interesting. But I mean that makes it's so easy though, because like on Android, when you swipe up from like the home button or long press it on Galaxy, you have that option to use other quick search type deals and stuff.
Yeah, you can even use Bing right now.
Yeah, you can make it use Bing. You can do whatever, and that's what Microsoft wants, and Google makes it so easy for them to do. So, it's interesting. I wonder if they're going to try to block that somehow or something.
It's cool. I mean, I still use a lot of Microsoft services because I like Microsoft a lot still, and you totally could just have like a completely Google-less Android phone by using all Microsoft services, and it would not be hard at all.
It's awesome. I think it's great. I personally don't really use that many Microsoft things because I don't have a Microsoft like computer right now. But I think it's great. I think it's awesome to have that choice, though.
And I guess it's going to be the Cortana for Android will be coming with when Windows 10 is released. So that's I believe in the fall. So I can look forward to that then.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Right, so Chris, talk to us about KFC Bluetooth food trays.
Best idea ever. When I saw this, I was completely floored. Like, this is so amazing. I wish they would have done it out here. But yeah, so KFC had this weird little promo, I guess just like marketing stunt type deal, whatever. But they put these little food trays that they serve you the food on. They had like the little paper backing that's underneath it. It was like an actual Bluetooth keyboard. It was like some kind of like vinyl keyboard or something, and you can connect it to your phone so that when you're eating your nasty, greasy chicken, all that disgusting grease all over your hands, and you get a message, you don't have to pick up your phone or try to like. I use my knuckles usually and try to like navigate and do stuff. Now you can just use this little Bluetooth keyboard and just get your little grease all over there and send messages and do whatever you want while you're eating at KFC, and it was really, really cool. They had a little video about it, and they talked about how everyone that used it ended up taking it home because they thought, like, oh, I guess we could these are free, right? So they just rolled it up, took it home, which was interesting. I don't think they really made that many of them, and as far as I know, it was only like in Germany or Russia or some like European country that they kind of did this. But it was pretty awesome. I think that was like the coolest idea. I think every fast food place should have this. It was yeah, pretty hilarious. Bluetooth.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I do always have my phone out while I'm eating at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, especially, I mean, like if you're like at work or you're like on a little lunch break or something, you know. I mean, that's like the perfect time to kind of message people and get some work done while you're eating, you know, multitasking like a boss. It's pretty ingenious because there's nothing more disgusting than chicken grease all over your hands and your phone.
That's true.
Can't even think about it.
That's one of the reasons I don't really eat at KFC hardly ever.
Yeah, I mean I do, but I just use a knife and fork with everything that I do.
Oh, there you go. Fancy.
Because I'm proper. I was raised right.
Do you also eat your candy bars with a knife and fork?
No, but I just make sure I do not touch them. That's for darn sure. I do eat my
right,
pizza.
Ashley? Seinfeld reference?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, good.
Oh, man.
All right, so Periscope is on Android. Have you
Periscope.
guys downloaded it?
I have
Nope.
not, but
Why would
that's
I
just
want to?
because what do I have to stream?
That's the funniest part is that no one is really streaming anything. They're just like, I don't know, just streaming
Did you guys
nothing.
watch my stream yesterday? It was pretty riveting.
I did not even notice that you posted a stream.
Yeah, it was probably way before you were awake. It
Oh.
was
Joe was working those keys.
it was called Watch Me Type Stuff, and it was just propped on my keyboard, and I was typing an article
Oh my god.
for like 10 minutes, and there was 40 people watching.
What? That's creepy.
That's the crazy thing about
Who are these
Periscope right
people?
now. With the Android app coming out, there's like so many users trying it out, so you can literally stream anything, and you'll probably have like at least 15 people watching instantly.
That's like when they first released Secret for Android and people were crazy using it. I was getting all kinds of crazy secrets.
Yeah.
Juicy secrets. That was really good.
But Periscope is cool. I've been, like it gives you a notification when someone you're following does a Periscope. So I've been watching a few, and some of them are entertaining, some of them are stupid. The app is designed really well. They actually did material design, which is cool. But it's cool. But yeah, it's like, what do I stream with this app?
I really have to stream. I'm gonna stream something today. I'm gonna do it without anybody in this apartment knowing. Let's see if we get anything interesting or juicy. This will be cool.
Let's get a stream of you making dino nuggets.
Literally, I'm literally gonna sit on that blue chair like I always do every day and just type in, maybe even taking a quick nap. About it.
That'd be great. Watch me
It's gonna
nap.
be a revenge Periscope.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be kind of awesome. I've already tried to get back my roommates by scaring them. It doesn't work. It's just they're not skittish.
It's too soon. You gotta wait so they're not ready for it, and then come when they're least expecting it.
Yeah, like Tabasco sauce in their underwear or something crazy.
Oh, true story. I got Tabasco sauce in my eye one time.
Ooh.
Oh, that was not a pleasant experience.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just go in hard and just wake them up with spraying tobacco sauce all over them, torturing.
Well, at that rate, just go buy some mace.
Yeah, and just get some pepper spray. Joke's on you.
It's just a prank.
Just a prank.
Speaking of jokes, OnePlus, they're announcing something on June 1st.
Oh yeah, good old
Sorry,
OnePlus. Yeah, I mean
That's probably going to be the OnePlus 2.
it looks like it. I mean, they had the picture of like a 1, and then they were like erasing it, and then saying it's time for a change. So I mean, it's so obvious that it's going to be a OnePlus 2.
Is that their new hashtag this time? Time for a change.
Time for change. I mean, they can't use never settle now because Verizon kind of like hijacked that.
That's so weird that Verizon is doing that.
I don't think Verizon was even aware of OnePlus when they took it, but
Guaranteed they are not.
but I don't know. I'm excited. I like the OnePlus, and I still have people today asking me like, should I get a OnePlus, bro? It's pretty good, right? I'm like, yeah, there's no invites, I guess. It's a good phone, but it's cheap. So I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, last year was all about like trumping the specs on like those phones back then, but I don't know if they can really do much more to improve on this year's specs. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if it's really a numbers game anymore, but I do think that there are some major, just shortcomings on these. I mean, like the Galaxy S6, you have really terrible battery life. G4 is just freaking ginormous. What else? Other good phones are there?
I'm glad to see you shaking your head.
Joe's like,
I still disagree.
He's like,
it's not
no,
that big.
I don't agree with you.
There's more. The Sony HTC,
Well,
the
the
1.9
just
camera,
Yeah.
terrible.
HTC always seems to have camera problems, though.
They've had it for every single year that they've had a new
Like
flagship.
the M7 had that purple tint.
M7 had purple tint. Was it the 1S? I don't even know what those problems were back then. 1X. It was like they had. That was when they introduced a separate processor, imaging processor, that would like use the backside illuminated sensor and do some crazy stuff, and that thing was like terrible.
Okay.
Didn't do
Did
nothing.
someone at HTC just like go buy a Galaxy S6 or a G4 and just be like,
Yeah,
okay,
just do what
this.
they do. That's it. It's like how hard is that? Just crack it open, look at how they're doing stuff, and just do it. Replicate that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't do it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing if OnePlus learns, or if they've learned anything from the OnePlus, and not even like the hardware perspective, but just like
Just the marketing.
Yeah,
all
like
season
everything
marketing
that
they tried to do.
yeah.
I
I
think
want
they-
to see if they learn
I think
anything
they-
from all that.
I don't think they're going to be doing that whole angle again because it kind of blew up in their face about the whole never settle thing. Maybe this time they'll be like, just settle less this time or something. It's going to be
Settle a little bit.
just settle a little bit and save some money in the process. Like that I'm down with that. That's honest. A nice honest slogan. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to announce because I think they got some good stuff going on over there.
All
Except
right,
for
so
the marketing.
to wrap up our news section, it looks like Johnny Ive is probably going to be retiring soon because just announced this week that he's going to be handing over the day-to-day managerial responsibilities for design. He's still going to be involved in the design, but he's taking a step back. And if you remember, this is not the first kind of news about Johnny Ive that has come out lately, and it seems like Apple is kind of just doing this long retirement process for him. He's just like slowly taking a step back from more and more things, and a lot of people are thinking that he's probably going to be retiring pretty soon.
I wonder. I mean, it's interesting because I wonder what this means for Apple, like the direction they'll take after this. I mean, introduce something crazy, some crazy new iPhone eventually.
I'd like to know how much of the current design is him still.
Yeah, that's true. Or if he's just that fancy voiceover in the videos.
Yeah.
That's all he pretty much does.
All right, Johnny, we're doing another video. There's a new iPhone coming out, and he's like, "Oh, what? There is?"
He's like, hold on, let me get my thesaurus out.
Let me get my black shirt. It's like Batman opening up his little closet for his cowl. It's just like Johnny just opens this big wardrobe, a black shirt hanging up.
Millions of them.
It's time. That would be great. Like even after he just retires, let him still do the videos. Just for the hell
I
of
have a
it.
feeling he will. I have a feeling they'll still bring him for the videos,
And everyone will
or
freak
they'll
out,
find
like,
a new British guy that they got just for his voice. Like you'll see.
yeah. But I actually am kind of excited if the design does change a lot when he retires. Apple's design is pretty good, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of
Safe.
how to say this. Yeah, safe. And when iOS 7 was new, I remember I didn't like iOS 7 very much. It has been refined a lot since then. It doesn't look too bad anymore, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time for some wins and fails of the week, and I'll kick it off. Just win. I love the G4. Just gonna
That's
say
not
it.
a.
I
that's not
knew
a
I
win.
knew that was going to happen just because of how similar it looks to the Nexus 5.
Yeah, there's something about the size. I really like the size. Like Chris, you think it's too big. I've been using the Nexus 6 for a long time, so that's probably why I think it's
Yeah.
not too big. But it just feels so perfect in my hand. And the slight curve of the screen.
Like how when you said that, your eyebrow.
Yeah, his eyebrow twitched.
It does things to me, man.
He's
It does
getting.
things.
I think he's physically getting turned on right now by
What
this
are your
phone.
turn-ons? Curves.
We got to get a gif of that or something. That
I'll
was
gif it. I'll gif it.
the curves.
But yeah, it's like the curve. It's not much of a curve, but you notice it, and I like it. Everything's really fast. The camera is. I'm blown away by the camera. I've never been blown away by a smartphone camera like I have with this phone. Like I took a picture the other day, and granted, it was in perfect conditions, like outside on a sunny day, but that's not what I was amazed about. I could zoom in so far, and it was still like crystal clear. I was so impressed with that.
That was my only complaint about the G3 is it took good pictures, but when you zoomed in, they didn't look so good anymore.
Yeah, I totally have not. It's been amazing. I love the camera on this phone.
You're gonna get me to buy. You're gonna get me to buy it, man. Stop it.
I'm just like. I'm
I've been
honestly
thinking
checking
about that phone a lot, and that stupid, all those dumb promos that they have now. They're giving away like 2 batteries, a battery dock, 128 gigabyte SD card, like all this stuff, and I'm like, how do you say no to that?
One thing about the camera, I wanted to see if LG's camera software was making the photos look a lot better. Because sometimes if you use the
That's
stock
what Samsung
camera,
does. Yeah.
So I used the Google camera app and took some photos, and they all look amazing still. So that was cool. I'm just really I've been checking XDA every day to see if they have some of the ROMs from the US variant, so I can get rid of some of this Korean stuff.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're still using the Korean one.
Yeah. So I'm ready to root this thing and go hardcore.
Honestly, I think I might go with the G4 because I was I had my heart set once I started selling some of these old devices, which I have been doing great on selling all my old stuff on Swappa. I sold my 1M8 for $300. I sold my Z2 for $400 or something. So
wow.
I mean, I'm doing really, really good on clearing out these old devices. So pretty much I have enough to buy a new phone. So I'm I don't know what to. I thought I was gonna get an S6 on Verizon, but now I'm not so sure because I couldn't. Even if I did, I couldn't use it daily because the stupid phone dies all the time. So it's just maybe I think I'll probably have to go G4. Maybe. I gotta see the size of it. I gotta hold it in my hand. I physically have never held one, so I gotta probably do that first before I make a.
It feels really nice. It does.
I hate the edge and the way it feels in the hand and how it's always slipping out, and it's nearly impossible to sleep in bed and hold it because it just will flip out into your face all the time. It's like an abusive boyfriend. It's terrible.
All right, so my fail this week, Android factory reset, I guess, doesn't clear as much stuff as what they claim.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there was a story that came out. I think it was on The Verge that I saw it, and I guess there are ways that like you can go into an Android phone that has been factory reset, just like in the settings, and you can still find stuff if you have the right tools.
Mm.
And I'm trying to find the wording here. Oh yeah, forensics. There you go. So like when they're trying to find information on a phone, the forensics teams will have a phone and they have these tools. And I guess Android phone that is factory reset compared to an iOS device that has been wiped, there's more stuff on an Android phone that you can still find, whereas like a iPhone is almost just completely blank. Android kind of like saves some of the stuff. It's really hard to access, but it's still there. Someone with the right tools could find it. So they say what you want to do is encrypt your phone first and then do a factory reset. And apparently that wipes everything out a lot better.
It's actually smart. That would be a really nice PSA.
Yeah.
If you really want to wipe your phone.
Yep. And I mean, like Chris, you just said you sold a bunch of phones. I'm sure you just factory reset those.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too stressed about it. Honestly,
I'm not either. I've done the same thing.
I'm not even sure if I did factory reset a couple of
Oh, God. I would never not do that.
No, I did. I had basically my girlfriend has taken over all the duties of like packing them up and shipping them and doing all this stuff. But yeah, she's been refactoring and reset them. But yeah, I don't really do too much on my phone to where there's like anything too crazy on there.
I mean, but you're signed in with your Google account and stuff, and
yeah.
I'm sure there's a ton of stuff tied to that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Before we move on to Chris's wins and fails, got a question here from Diago Almeida. I swear, the people that leave questions in our podcast have the most difficult names. He asks, do you think there's going to be a huge conflict with compatibility with the smart home since different companies use different technologies and different hubs that don't communicate with each other? And yeah, that's kind of like what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Different hubs use different standards because there's Zigbee, there's Z-Wave, there's all these standards of home automation, and that's why I was like, when you start down a path of one of them, you're stuck. So there is incompatibility. Like, for example, the Nest thermostat doesn't work with the SmartThings hub, which is a really popular hub, and so that sucks because the Nest is really popular too. So there definitely is some compatibility issues with that.
And that's what I think Google's gonna announce, right? Just a bunch of like APIs and tools and stuff for developers to use, and kind of bundle it all into Android so that it all works and plays nice with Android stuff. As well as, I mean, what is it, Dropbox, and I'm sure the Nest guy will probably have a whole line of home automation products to go along with Dropbox, Dropcam, and
I was gonna say, what are you talking about, Dropbox?
The Nest thing. So yeah.
All right, Chris, what are your wins and fails?
My win's gonna be the Iron Man Galaxy S6, the Iron Man Edition Galaxy S6. It's real.
Galaxy S6 Edge.
Galaxy S6 Edge. They showed a picture of it. I mean, it looks exactly how you would. I mean, like we kind of already guessed it would look. It's just red, kind of like a nice burgundy, mahogany, crimson, nice red.
No, it's fire engine red. Isn't that what he says in the movie? No.
Oh,
He says throw some hot rod red in there. That's what he says.
That's right. It's hot rod red, and it's got the gold trim for the metal on the sides, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm not too crazy about the big Iron Man face logo in the back, but
yeah,
it does look pretty sick, and hopefully this is just a start. I think if anyone has the ability to make these offshoot devices and do the stuff like this, limited edition things, it's Samsung. They definitely have the resources and the money to do it, so they should really embrace this and really go hard with this, and hopefully we'll see more. Not just Iron Man. I'm not really a gold red kind of guy, but I can see some Marvel fans out there kind of jumping on this. It is really, really cool. So that's going to be my win. My fail. Oh, there's a Galaxy S6. freaking hell, man. This thing has been a nightmare, and it's been doing this thing now. There's these bugs. There's bugs all the time, but this thing is like buggier than usual lately, and it does this thing where it keeps connecting and disconnecting from my Wi-Fi. It's like boop, 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 and it says like Wi-Fi connected, Wi-Fi disconnected, Wi-Fi connected. And in the middle of the night, I woke up, not in the middle of the night, but in the morning I woke up and my phone was like scorching hot. Didn't put it in the freezer, but it was so hot, it was out of control. And I unlock it and look at it, and it's just the Wi-Fi thing is like going on and off, and I'm like, okay, a simple reboot will fix this. So I reboot it, nothing, still going on and off, on and off. I sign out of the Wi-Fi network. I have to manually go back in and sign in, and it still wasn't working. Eventually, it just kind of fixed itself. I just left it off for like a long time. When I turned it on, it was like okay, but I don't know what's going on. I think I looked it up on Google search, and it seems like some other people were kind of having some of these problems too. But this phone is ridiculous, and it's so buggy and horrible.
It sounds like you have a new problem with it almost every week.
Yeah, it's just some stupid software thing, and if it wasn't a review device, and basically it's Rob's, I would have taken this thing straight back to T-Mobile, thrown it on the floor, and been like, "Fix this or give me a new one." But yeah, it's just I had to, I guess, live with it. But it's kind of turned me off to the phone almost completely. That and the battery life stuff, I'm just like kind of over the whole S6 thing. The camera is freaking awesome, though. I will say that. But the G4 camera is everything you say it is. I think I might like that a little bit better. So yeah, that's.
You should almost, if other people are having the same problems as you, and it's not just your device, you should almost do like a revisit the review post or something.
Yeah,
because you weren't having these issues at first.
Yeah, I'll put a little disclaimer or something in the software section that's really, really buggy. No
All right,
updates either.
Ashley, what do you got?
I don't know that I have a win this week, but I have a pretty big fail.
That's funny because last week you didn't have a fail.
Yep. I've been tinkering around with a lot of the streamable radio services just to try them out and see what's different. And I've had Google Music since they introduced the $7.99 price. So I was like, I used Pandora before this. Let's see what Spotify's got going on. And they had 99 cents for 3 months not too long ago. So I jumped on that then. And I've been using it for about a week now, just their radio feature. I haven't imported any of my playlists or anything. It really, really sucks. It's like so bad.
Yeah, it is terrible.
What's bad about it?
If you select a song that you want to start a radio from and you tell it that you like that song, it will only play music from that band.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not radio at all.
It'll do other stuff. I think it's maybe that's because it's on the the 9. Maybe you're on the low end one or something. But they do other ones. But it's just the radio does suck really bad.
It will repeat. If you ever like a song, it will repeat it like every 5 songs.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
so
annoying.
You can't really use the rating system with it, which is how I tuned my Pandoras. That's how you tune Google Music. It's just doesn't work on Spotify.
And I feel like it doesn't really do anything when you do, and it's just basically they take like a thumbs up, like, oh, you like this artist, we'll play that song and their songs again and again and again. It's like, no, I want to hear new music, because I use radio for like discovery stuff and trying to find out new music, new bands and things. So I just like that. I want it to know the type of music that I like, or the genre, or maybe even like the tempo. Because I'm like, I don't want to hear. For me, sometimes in the morning, I'm like, I'll pick a nice slow song. I just want to hear nice acoustic slow jams while I'm, showering, shampooing up my hair 3 times. But it'll just all of a sudden out of nowhere, you'll hear some like crazy fast rock song, and I'm just like, what in the world? And my girlfriend's like banging on the door, like, turn that down. I'm like, Spotify. But yeah, it's pretty horrible. But I would invite people to try out all the music services and the radio features and all that stuff, because I think a lot of people do get tied down because you're on that, like, sometimes you have that promo price like Google Play Music and stuff, and you just kind of stick with it. But there's RDO or radio, however you pronounce it, and then there's Spotify, there's Google Play Music, and then there's like one more other one. But yeah, I was the other day, I was going through all of them and trying them all out and canceling one and trying one for a month, but I ended up on Spotify, but the radio just completely sucks. I think the best radio to me is Pandora. That it just can't be matched.
Oh,
yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I use
always
that all
on point.
the time.
Yeah, for me now it's just a quality issue. Just it sounds horrible, and you get those ads which are kind of annoying. So I'm tempted to pay, maybe, to pay for Pandora's music streaming, but
Their Android app is horrible though. Like it's really bad
Pandora?
about sync. Yeah,
yeah,
They
I was
re-updated it not too long ago. I think it's really nice.
I
they
was
update it?
cooking the other day and just had it sitting on the kitchen table while I was cooking, and it crashed 3 times while I
Yeah,
was
that
doing
is
it.
true. Sometimes it will just randomly stop playing music.
Oh, so it's buggy. I know they were doing this whole like redesign thing, and they did it first on iOS, but I didn't know it actually came to Android yet. I haven't used Pandora in a
Yeah,
little bit, but
I guess that's true. It looks nice, but yeah, there are some bugs.
oh yeah, it's
I've
typical.
actually the Nexus 6 that I got came with like what was it, 3 months or 6 months of like all access Google Play,
Hmm.
and so you get that. I don't even know what to call it. The like there's different moods, or like you can select boosting your energy, and then it will like suggest playlists. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I use that a lot. I think those are pretty cool. That was something that they got from what was that company that they bought?
Oh
Um,
yeah, that the little whale guy or something, that little character.
is it like Songify?
Song,
No,
song,
crap.
Songly.
Song. We're gonna get it, guys.
I'm looking this up because it's gonna drive me crazy.
Purchases
Songza.
Songza. There you go. Yeah, Songza. That was a feature from Songza, which I really like.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our app picks of the week. Mine is called Weather Timeline. It's an Android app. I'm not sure if they have an iOS app. I didn't check that actually. But it's just a really well designed weather app, and it shows the weather. The cool thing about it is, like the title suggests, it shows your weather in a timeline, and so you just kind of can scroll through like what the conditions are going to be throughout the day in a really nice interface. And that's something that when I check the weather, that's usually the main reason is I'm trying to see what the weather's going to be like in a couple hours, or when I'm doing something. And
Yeah,
so,
not at the time, yeah.
right. So seeing it in a timeline view is really convenient, and it's just such a beautiful app too. It costs $1.99, 99 cents, $1, whatever. And it's by Sam Ruston. But if you're into material design, weather apps, and stuff like that, definitely give that one a
It has
chance.
pretty great widgets too because I use it.
Oh, you do use it, yeah. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Use it for the widgets. Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
use a lot of widgets, to be honest. I should use more. I
Yeah,
think all I have on my home screen right now is a Wunderlist widget. That's the only thing.
I try to use like I think a calendar widget is like super useful, but every time I put it down, it's just like block this huge thing. And I'm like, oh, it's so ugly. I just
Yeah, I
can't
hate calendar
do it.
widgets.
Can't commit.
Your fear of commitment. It's like a running theme this week.
It really is.
All right, Chris, what's your app pick? Another keyboard.
Yeah,
You're
I
all
know.
about keyboards.
I know. Keyboard apps, like oh, another one. I'm just gonna go back to SwiftKey or something. But no, look, this one's called Ginger Keyboard, which actually bothers me a lot because every single time I say that, I think of like a little ginger kid with the little freckles just looking at me. But it's actually really good. I'm not even sure where the heck it came from, but or how long it's been out. But I mean, it's got a bunch of ratings in the Play Store. It's like practically perfect, and it kind of does like too much, but you can turn off a lot of these features. So it's got like shortcuts for like an RSS feed directly in the keyboard, so you can share links to like these popular news articles, and then it's got another little tab that you can click for like you can add notes to like AnyDo. It's like tied into AnyDo, and then you can it's got all this.
That is doing too much.
It's even got games. There's a little tab. You click the little button, and it's got like Snake. You can play Snake in your little keyboard area. It's kind of stupid and ridiculous, so that stuff I just turn off. But it's got like grammar check, which is kind of nice if you are like a stickler for that sort of stuff. But really, my main thing, I don't even use it for any of those things. I just use it for the autocorrect. Autocorrect is freaking awesome on this thing, and it's so super quick. it's just it's like the most easiest keyboard for me to use now when you're just jabbing away at the keys, and it always knows what you're saying, and it says it so it autocorrects so perfectly. I think there's prediction in there too, but it pretty much is a jack of all trades, and it kind of does a lot of really things right. So I think you guys should try it if you're not completely satisfied with your keyboard. I know I was going on a rant the other day about autocorrect, how all these keyboards are moving towards predictive stuff, and how you can write a word, hey, are you going to come over today, or are you going to come over, and it'll just autocorrect. You can spell it perfectly over, but they'll just completely change it to a different word, and you're like, what the freak? And like that was frustrating me so much. So I'm glad Ginger keyboard, I have not had that problem at all, and it's just solid autocorrect.
Does it have predictive emoji?
I know it does have an emoji on it, and they call it Ginger keyboard emoji keyboard or something stupid, but I don't know if it has predictive emoji. I haven't really dived into the settings that much. I don't think it does though. I think only SwiftKey does that.
Yeah, I love that feature.
Yeah, it's
Microsoft Keyboard does that too. They should port that to Android. Oh man.
I would definitely use that. That was like the only feature that I missed from Windows Phone.
Seriously.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Ashley, it got like a million times better since
they definitely had an amazing keyboard.
Yeah.
Predictive emoji, that would be so sick.
Yeah, I think last time you talked about the autocorrect and whatnot, I think you were talking about Flesky, maybe.
Yeah,
I know you like Flesky. I tried that out for a couple weeks. I like that keyboard a lot too.
Flexy's nice. The UI
I end up going back to SwiftKey most of the time.
Yeah, same here. Until SwiftKey starts, frustrating me, then I try to jump back to something else. But for now, it's Ginger keyboard. I'm actually surprised that I've been using it for this long, and I've literally installed it on all my Android devices because I'm just like, I love it so much. It's such a good one.
All right, Ashley, what do you got?
Mine kind of ties back into the whole search for the best streaming music service, but it's not an Android or iOS app. It's a Google Chrome extension.
Music Bubbles?
Yeah, it's called Music Bubbles, and it's for Google Music. I don't know about you guys, but I like to listen to music when I'm working during the day, and I don't have media keys or anything on my keyboard, so having to switch tabs to change the song or thumbs up a song is really annoying. But Music Bubbles places a little bubble like on all your tabs, and no matter where you browse, you have instant access to all your Google Music controls.
Oh, this is nice.
Yep, I really like it.
Nice.
I might have to use that. They should have that in Google Music. That would be an awesome feature.
They're probably just end up buying these guys.
They should too.
It's really cool.
Nice recommendation.
I totally forgot about Chrome extensions, man.
We've had a few Chrome extensions. Are you still using that, what is it called, the Great Suspender?
Yep. And
you like it?
Yeah, my computer, I've had no issues with my millions of tabs on Chrome anymore. So
nice.
It's like 30 tabs open all the time.
Because every tab on Chrome is like its own browser practically, its own process and stuff. So
everything's sandboxed, so if one crashes, the whole thing doesn't.
Yeah,
I think Lifehacker had a post last week. They went in depth trying to figure out why does Chrome use so much RAM
so bad.
Yeah.
There was a meme, I think it was on Reddit or something the other day about how I don't know, it was just freaking hilarious about Chrome and how it uses up. It was really funny. But this thing has saved my computer and my sanity pretty much, because all these tabs are just basically suspended after an hour. They just completely stop. The only problem I think I can see with that extension is that if you want to go back and read something that's been deleted, sometimes we do in our line of work, it's someone published something they weren't supposed to. You can't go back. I mean, you have to click the button and it reloads that page again, and if you lost it, it's gone forever. So.
Right. Or if they change a page, edit it and stuff.
Yeah. So it's crap. But other than that, I mean, I really haven't encountered that issue too much, and it's so handy, useful. Thanks, Joe.
Oh, I think we had another email question from Daquan Johnson.
Daquan?
Who has emailed us
He's been a constant since I started.
Yeah.
We have a Daquan Johnson section now.
We
He's
do.
the man. The man.
This week he asks, do you think Apple can redesign the iPhone now that it is identical to the iPod and iPad lines? I don't
Wait.
see why they couldn't. I mean,
Do we think that what? Who's gonna?
he's asking if he thinks Apple can redesign the iPhone because now, like, the iPad and the iPod are all on like the same kind of design language. Do you think that they'll change it up again?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if they felt the need to, I'm sure they would.
Right,
Nothing's
they've
gonna
done it
stop them.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's always kind of, sometimes the iPhone is like the first one to get the new design, and then the other ones will follow. I think this generation, the iPad got like the iPhone 6-ish design first, and then it was on the iPhone.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't been following the iPad stuff too much, but do the iPads, do they have the 2.5D display type deal? The glass? Where it, like, bubbles?
I'm not even sure, to be honest, what like the most recent iPad is even called. Is it the iPad Air, the most recent?
Yeah.
It got a redesign, but I don't think they changed the name, so it's like iPad Air 2nd generation.
Haven't
The
done much.
iPad is kind of like stale.
You know what is a good question is whether do you think Samsung will do an Edge tablet? Huh?
Oh,
Dude,
I don't know why they would. I mean, can you
That'd
imagine
make
those
that'd make
edges
an
on a
interesting
tablet? It'd be
post.
pointless.
I mean, it would be, but like at the same time, you could have all those shortcuts there. That's like a bunch of long row of shortcuts.
If
I don't know.
Samsung did that, they would be ridiculed.
One gigantic ticker, just the longest ticker ever. It would be interesting just to kind of see it. I mean, even if they don't do anything with it, they just kind of use it like the S6 Edge, where it's just like it's just things that are on there. It'd be kind of cool. I think it'd make a unique tablet. Maybe if they only did it for like a 7-inch version, not like the 10-inch ones.
7-inch would work.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's going to wrap things up this week. If you want to ask us questions or leave comments like Daquan does every week, you guys can't just let him be the only one every week. Come on. We need more. You can use our address, podcast@mobileroar.com. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and pretty much anywhere else. If you subscribe to the audio version somewhere, please leave us a review wherever you are subscribed. You can follow the podcast on Twitter @MobileRoarcast, and you can follow us on Twitter. Chris is @GamerCore, Ashley is @OverlordRoar, and I am @TallSchmo. And we will see you guys next week. Later.
Later.